Yo, what is up YouTube? And as always, welcome to the channel. My name is David. Today we are talking about these two lenses right here. This is the 24 1.4 Canon L series lens, and right next to it we have the 24 Canon Cinema T1.5. You can see videos anywhere on YouTube about the color differences between the two lenses and the shooting, the sharpness and everything, but I want to talk to you guys about the physical differences. What makes a regular electronic lens different from a cinema lens? What is the difference? Not just looking at it, you may not be able to tell. So today I want to break down what exactly makes a cinema lens, and kind of why it helps people in the field to shoot with a cinema lens compared to a regular lens. Just by looking at it, you can kind of tell the weight is completely different. This is going to be 10 times heavier. Okay, maybe not 10 times heavier, but it's going to be a lot heavier than this lens right here. So this lens is going to come in at, I don't know, it's going to be here, and this lens is going to be displayed here. That's a pretty significant difference when you're throwing it on your camera. Just right now, I can hold it and feel the difference. It's crazy. The next thing is the size. So as far as height, you can see that there's a very slight difference here. You can see a slight difference. But when it comes to the diameter, this is about an extra half the size of it. That is pretty crazy. Just remember, the barrel of the cinema lenses are going to be a lot bigger because there's a lot more to the lens itself. Now, we're going to look at the markings on the lens. So if you look at the Canon Cinema lens right here, you see that there's a bunch of markings. So many more markings where the focus is, where the aperture is, and the distances. Compared to this one, you don't get that many markings. You have this little box here that has some markings on it. As far as markings for focus, zoom, and whatnot, there's not that many markings. We don't get that many on the regular electronic lens. Markings are super important on cinema lenses, and we're gonna get to that. So let's start with the first marking. So if you were to take this lens right here, this is a f-stop lens. The regular lenses go by f-stops, so it's going to jump from 1.2 to 1.4 to 1.8 to 2.0, then to 2.5, 2.8, 3.2, 3.5, 4.0, and then jump all the way up to 5, and then jump all the way up to 6. If you take the cinema lens and you look at the markings, it literally goes from 1.5 to 1.7 to 2 to 2.3 to 2.5 to 2.8. It goes up, it stacks for you, because when you are filming, this is made to be able to switch your aperture while filming, which is insane because it happens. A lot of people like to switch their apertures while filming, and because they have this smooth transition from one aperture to the next, you can do it very subtly without anybody even noticing that you switch the aperture. So imagine going from a 1.5 aperture to a 22 aperture and just not even realizing it until you realize, oh, everything's in focus now. Crazy. So the ability to have T-stops is basically smoothing your aperture. And that's another thing about cinema lenses compared to an electronic lens. This is electronic. You can notice that I'm saying electronic and not like regular lens, because this is a full manual lens. Everything you do has to be on the lens. It cannot be in body. You can't change the aperture in body. The only thing you can change in the body is the shutter speed and the ISO. This is going to control your focus. There's no autofocus. It's manual only, and it's going to control your aperture. So there's 2 rings regardless if you're using a prime or not. If you have a zoom cinema lens, it's going to have 3 rings. 1 for zoom, 1 for focus, and 1 for aperture. Remember, if you're buying a cinema lens, don't expect to be able to autofocus anything. And lastly, the best thing about this is the throw. The throw is basically what it's called when you do a full stop of focus. Let's say you are manual focusing on the electronic lens, right? So let's switch it down to auto or manual focus. You can see 1 full rotation of focus probably takes you about a second or 2. However, to go from one side to the other on a cinema lens, it's gonna take a lot of effort. So let's do like a quick spin. I had to turn it so long to be able to even get to the other side of the lens, because that is what it's made for. Cinema lenses are made for people having control over their focus and having it be a lot smoother, because you can tell like sometimes that when you try to manual focus, if you overshoot, it goes all the way to the other side, and all you did was turn it like half an inch. You turn it half an inch and it focuses on the other side of the room. But cinema lenses, that does not happen because the throw is so long. In the cinema world, you're gonna have people using follow focuses. So this is a follow focus right here, if you can see that. So it has these tiny gears. So basically what happens is they go in like a cog wheel, right? And then someone is controlling it. Your first AC is going to be the first assistant camera, and there's going to be like it's kind of hard. So basically they connect, and this thing spins when someone uses the remote to spin it, and then it focuses for you. So someone else is focusing on a monitor, they're doing it for you, so that way you can focus on grabbing your shot, and then hope that they know what you want in focus. Because that is what the cinema world is about. It's about having a team to work with you guys. That is the advantages of having a cinema lens compared to an electronic lens. Remember, this is going to be a lot heavier, a lot bigger. Hopefully you're going to have a team to work with you when you're shooting with it, and it's going to have a lot more work. While this one is going to be autofocus, it can be manual focus, the throw is going to be a lot shorter, so it's going to be a little bit more hard to focus on things when doing manual focus if you don't have the peaking or if you throw too fast. It really depends. As far as image quality, I noticed that this lens is actually a lot cooler in temperature. So it's a little bit more blue, it has more cool tones, which I actually love. And then this one is definitely going to be a little bit less sharp, honestly. This is going to be a little bit less sharp. It's not that big of a deal. In pricing, this one is what? $4,000, $5,000, and this one is going to be coming in at $600 used. Or about $1,000 or so brand new. Either way, it's completely up to you. I can't afford this. This is my friend's. He's letting me borrow it for a while. Thank you, Joe, by the way. But that's all for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to be shooting some content for this while I have it because my friend's only letting me borrow it until he comes back in town, which we don't even know when it is. We're gonna try to fit as much as we can in with this. So thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Hope this video helped you out. Let me know in the comments below, what is your dream lens? Do you want a cinema lens? My dream lens is a Cooke SI anamorphic lens. Those lenses are crazy good. I definitely want one, but they are like $30,000. So we're never gonna get one. So I will see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day, morning, night, or wherever you're watching from, and I'll see you then. Peace.